What's going on, guys? It's Matt from Trendset, and today we're going to be talking about file organization, what I do with my files, how I organize them, and how it helps me in Premiere in the long run. Obviously, file organization is a really personal thing. Every videographer, filmmaker does it a little bit of a different way. I'm not the most organized guy, but when it comes to file organization, I like to have at least a little bit of structure. That way, when I'm going into Premiere and editing and doing all the other stuff, I know where those files live, and it's a little bit easier for my head to wrap it around. But yeah, so I'm gonna jump into my PC here, guys, show you what I do for my folders. I like to set up folders before I even go out and shoot. That way I know what it is that I need to shoot and how much footage is gonna kind of roughly exist in all those things. It just helps me in the planning process, so before I go on a shoot I have an idea of what I need. So let's jump into the PC now and show you how I edit that. So what we're going to do is just jump right into files here, and as you see, I have this thing called the event template. What this is just a template of how I set up my folders. I tend to just copy this template and then put whatever event it actually was just in place of the event template name. So let's jump straight into that template and see what it looks like. So as you can see, we got 4 files here. We got the audio, drone, photo, and video. Audio and drone don't have anything within them because with the audio, this is where I'll put most of the music or anything like that. If I know what song I want to use for the event, or when I find it after, I'll put it into the audio piece here. And then drone is where we have all of our drone footage. I don't tend to take that much drone footage, usually, I don't know, 5-6 different longer flights. But if it's all for one event, then I keep all the drone footage here in one folder. If I needed to and I was doing multiple drone shots, I would just separate this drone footage into day by day. So let's jump straight into photos. So as you can see, with photos, we tend to shoot with 2 cameras. I got the Canon and the Sony. So I separate those two basically to just make it easier when I'm separating the cards. If we jump into the Canon, you can see that we have it kind of separated per event day. So this event that I have in brackets, you would just change to whatever it is. Birthday party, day 1, day 2. I have the C there obviously for Canon, so Canon photo day 1. And then all of my photos and RAWs would live in here for the day 1. All the photos would live in day 2, so on and so forth. And as you'd imagine, it'd be the exact same thing here in Sony, just with S photo day 1. That way when I'm in Lightroom or something like that, I can separate them specifically by camera if I want to. But then it's really easy too, because sometimes I'll just combine these 2 folders together, add it into Lightroom, and then just select from both camera bodies to edit the photos that way. Video is pretty straightforward as well. I tend to do a lot of interviews while we're away for events or something like that. Interviews could be anything from actually interviews or like product talk or something like that. So in interviews, I would leave this open to depending on what kind of interviews I had. But if I knew what I had prior to the event, I would usually come in here and just add a folder already and say something like, I don't know, Todd interview day 1. And if I knew I was having that interview with Todd, I can just have that set up already. Audio here is where I drop all of my lav audio. It just makes it easier so that when I'm exporting that audio off of our iPhones or whatever device, we can just plop it straight into the audio there. And then from here, I would just put it into its appropriate interview folder. And then going back to the event for video, I would just have this as the event, so whatever birthday party, and then same idea as the photos, you would just have your event videos day 1 and 2. We don't necessarily separate this one by camera because I'm usually using both angles anyways, so you would just jump in here and I would just drop all of my raw 4K footage in there, and then just be able to edit the video footage that way, and then have all of the days separated within folders. Once I went into Premiere, that's when I do a lot more of the separation between the two. For the most part, I would have day 1 as a sequence and then day 2 as a sequence within Premiere, and then just choose the best bits from those sequences and put them into another sequence that I usually call like rough draft or something. But yeah, so this is how I organize most of my events. It's a very, very straightforward setup. It's pretty standard, it's pretty easy for me to use, and then this way all of my events look the same way, so if I'm looking for something, I know I can follow the same kind of clicking pattern in order to get there. Alright guys, so there you have it. By having those footage files set up prior to going on a shoot, it really does help me wrap my head around everything that needs to be shot. I hope that helps you guys a little bit. If you don't do it like this, or you think my way is not the best, let me know in the comments down below how you do it and see if I can maybe become a little bit more efficient with it. Alright guys, thanks for watching today's video. If you got any questions or concerns, hit us in the comments down below, and we'll catch you in the next one.